up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. This is, well, okay, it looks a little bit different. You'll see why in the next video. I'm doing this just as like a bit of a catch because there's some stuff I just didn't explain very well, or I didn't show you in the last video about problems in the plan and all that malarkey. And I need to cover it because there's loads and loads and loads of comments going on and people chipping in and trying to help out, which is brilliant. And every time a video goes out, I go through every single comment, trying to pick up stuff or answer questions, all that sort of stuff. You know, get people engaged basically. And there is some stuff that I got wrong that people are corrected on. And there's some stuff that wasn't covered that everybody's mentioning as well. So I thought I would do like just a quick one and you know, maybe fill in some of the gaps. So the bike does look a bit different. You'll see all why in the next video. He's sitting over there. That's quite good. But just to go through some of this stuff. So, in no particular order, part of what I did was pull the carbs apart, thinking there might have been some goo and crap stuck in. Well, no, actually, let's start with that. That's not cylinder 2 I was working on, that's cylinder 3, because I got my numbering wrong. Cylinder 1 is on the left-hand side, cylinder 4 is on the right-hand side. I got it wrong, I don't know why. But in this case, it really doesn't matter because it's a wasted spark system. The cylinders 2 and 3 is both connected to the same coil, and it's essentially a wasted spark. So the coil fires both spark plugs at the same time whenever it gets its pulse and whatnot, and both spark plugs go. The only thing is only one of them is on its power stroke, so you know only one of them is going to ignite what's in the cylinder and big boom and piston flies down and all that malarkey. The other spark in the other plug really doesn't do anything. That's why it's called a wasted spark system. So because they're both fed off the same one, I'm still looking at the right coil that potentially has got the problem. It's just I got the numbering wrong, that's it. The spark plugs, I have switched them about as well. So, because it was only running sort of, you know, lumpy and horrible, not running at all on what is cylinder 3. So the plug in that one has been switched over with the one in cylinder 2. I'm pretty confident it's not a plug. I mean, people say they've had like brand new NGK plugs fail, and some people are saying that there's like loads of dodgy fake ones out there as well. But I didn't see that when I switched it over. I've got some more plugs coming actually, and they will fit this. It's for something else. But I will try switching it out with another brand new one and see if that helps or anything else. The coil is getting replaced. Both the coils are actually getting replaced anyway, and that's just because they didn't meter correctly. I think it's supposed to be between 2.3 and 3.5 on the primaries, and it's just reading high. So that's just because they're not reading as the manual says to. They're both getting replaced. Now there was a fella who chipped in saying you can do a stick coil conversion. I quite like the idea of that because that's a bit later technology, and you know, I don't know, it could be good, but I might do it, I might not. People say you don't see any marked improvement with it. You know, I don't know. But I've got the regular coils coming. They're not OEM ones because they don't make them anymore. So these are ones off eBay, which means they'll probably last 5 minutes. But that's what's going on, essentially replacing it. They don't come with the caps. So the caps is coming off this. People were saying to pull the caps off and cut it down a bit and remake it so you know it's all good, and whilst it's off you can measure it then. We're going to be doing all that on the new coils when they come, but before it goes back on the bike I need to know that everything's okay. There is a resistor in the caps as well apparently. Didn't know that, didn't see that in the manual, but then again I wasn't really looking. So you know, all that will get checked and done before it goes on. I also haven't done a compression test, but I am going to. You need 3 things. You need spark, fuel and compression to get it running. Fuel, I'm confident is fine. We'll get to that bit in a minute. But the spark, I think with a combination of new coils and checking all the caps out and, you know, trying the new plugs and stuff like that, we should be fine on that. I know it's happening at the right time. I know the timing's all good. You know, it's been running like a freight train. That ain't been a problem. And it was just a sudden thing. So I think you know, something is breaking down. I'm still convinced it's like it's an electrical thing, but I'm just going through checking everything basically. So we'll get a compression test, and we do it on all 4 because the top has been off. I am going to retorque all the head up before I do all that, just because it's due it anyway. And I'm going to do it because there's nothing on top. I mean, now's the ideal time to be doing it, eh? So then on to fueling. So there is a fuel filter that goes from the pump up to the tank. I have had that apart, that wasn't filmed. There really wasn't anything in it. And it was only on cylinder 3 that it was failing. If it was like dodgy fuel coming through everything, or sludge being drugged through or whatever, I would expect to see the same sort of problem on each carb. And it's not, it's just the one. So that's in there. That goes up to the tank, which I have drained, and I had a look at the fuel that came out of it. Basically, I just put it in like a see-through, you know, like it was an old acetone bottle, but drained it out. I had a look at the fuel, and there isn't any junk and rubbish and stuff in there really floating about. There's the odd tiny little speck, but you know, there's really nothing. But whilst I had it all apart, the tank has been flushed out and blown out, and that was just done with water, and then it was all blown out and stuff again. I had a heat gun down the neck of it just to try and dry everything out. And then it's all been put back together again. And I've got a drain hose on the back of the tank with this basically just for the water runoff around the filler. So, you know, rainwater would point its way into that lip, and this just takes it back down and out the bottom of the bike. So that's all been done. I'm confident that the tank is okay. So then that goes down into the carbs. Now the carbs, I have pulled them apart and had a look. See, there really ain't anything in there. It's not a, yeah, I didn't find anything obvious is what I'm trying to say. I've given it a clean out, and I've had the jets and the emulsion tubes and stuff out, and I've had a squirt of carb cleaner. So I know that they're all nice and clean and whatnot. And I've also checked the float heights. I think the best one I had, because it's supposed to be 13 mil plus or minus 2 mil. The best one I had was 13.05 or something. You know, say 05. And the worst one I think was 13.9. So there is a little bit of variation, but not a lot. And they're all fine, they're all within spec, and that wouldn't have been causing this problem. But they've all gone back together again anyway. I am at the minute looking to get some different jets. There was a very helpful fella who tipped in going, I have one of these, and I had like an aftermarket exhaust and air filter and stuff, and this is the jetting that I had. So I'm looking to see if I can get some jetting the same, and that's what I'm tempted just to bung in it now, because we know that we're lean. We know it's going to need to change anyway, and the carbs is off, so I might as well do it now. It's not going to hurt. We're still going to stick it on a dyno and see what we can get out of it and what the AFR curve says. But, you know, I might as well. Bits ain't going to be turning up until next week. So it's not like they're going to be going back on again tomorrow. So I might as well see if I can get some. And the carbs will go on when the jets get changed. Forks. I'm still waiting on the springs. They're not going to be here till next week. So that lot will be getting done. Not just yet though. And the sump is off of it because I was looking at 5th gear. That's in the next video. You'll see what I found in that. I'm not sure it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm glad I did it. I am glad I did it. But you'll have to wait for that video to see what's going on with 5th gear, or not, as the case may be. But I'm hoping this sort of covers some of the questions and stuff that people were chipping in with on the comments, because you know, that everyone always tries to help, which is just mega. And they do try and help. And I didn't cover everything in the video just because I haven't got time to. If you saw everything that goes on in here, I mean, the videos would be massively long, or there would be lots of them, and it would be quite boring because I'd just be doing the same thing. So I'm hoping that sort of covers it. But if you do spot something, or if I get something wrong, or I haven't checked something, or I've not made something clear, for God's sake, just chip in and tell me, because I will happily pass the message on to others. Because I think a few people are starting to watch this as I've got this trouble, how can I fix it? This is not a how-to channel, this is just me doing my thing, and I am going to get stuff wrong. I'm not a mechanic, I'm a welder fabricator type dude. I just love doing all this sort of stuff. So please take whatever I say with a pinch of salt. I do get things wrong. I do look at something going, you know, that's number 2 when it's actually number 3. I do call things by the wrong name, which just makes me look stupid. But, you know, I'm not a mechanic. I just want to get that point across. So I did miss some stuff. Hopefully, I think I've covered everything. I think. There's bound to be something else as well. Oh, people were saying waggle everything about when it's hot and see if that, you know, I didn't do any of that. But I'm not a mechanic, that's just the way it is. But anyway, hopefully that covers things and you get the gist of what I've done, and you know, it fills in a few blanks, but I just thought it worthwhile to do. So anyway, I'm gonna go home and edit this video and that'll be out pretty soon. And I'm sure there's gonna be loads more comments on that one as well. But anyway, that's it. Just a quick one, like I say, but I thought it important to do. So thanks very much for watching. Do hope you're well and staying safe. We'll see you on the next one. Laters!